Somewhere down the road, we're all going to be faced with challenges that feel sometimes insurmountable. It might be a divorce or a layoff or an illness or even the death of a loved one. None of us can really avoid it if you're going to be human and continue to live on the planet. That's what being a human being is. So the question then becomes, what will you do when it happens, whatever it is for you? For Rhonda Britton, it took nearly 2 decades. That's 20 years to figure it out. When she was 14, Rhonda witnessed her father kill her mother and then turn the gun on himself. And what happened after that?
Well, I pretty much blame myself. I mean, I'm the only witness. I'm sitting there with the gun, and I'm watching this whole thing unfold, and I believe that somehow I should have been able to stop it. I should have been able to save my mother. I should have been able to do something.
So it took you two decades to figure out that you couldn't have.
And 2 decades of personal hell. I tried to kill myself 3 times. I used alcohol. Let's just say I didn't live the best life those 20 years.
Really? Because you were still blaming yourself for your mother's death all those years.
I was blaming my father. I was blaming my mother. I was blaming me.
And so what was the turning point for you, Rhonda?
A decision. And I think that's such an important skill for everybody. I think you get to a point in your life, whenever you're going through something traumatic, that you have to make a decision. And I, after my 3rd suicide attempt, realized this isn't working for me. I had to decide who I was going to be. I had to decide who I was going to become. I had to be willing to let go of the past. I had to be willing to focus on the future and let go of what was and just decide, okay, who is Rhonda Britton going to really be? Because if she's your story and you're just going to sit there and wallow in it for the rest of your life and have a pity party, well, you're just going to keep on living the way you're living.
Yeah, I think I wrote something about this in my magazine once about how I believe that the ability to make a decision is the force field that allows you to move forward in anything in your life. And that is whatever it is you need to do in your life. Lose weight, make a decision about how you're going to choose to react to an illness. And I would say that would be the thread that connects all of the stories that we've heard today.
Absolutely.
Isaiah made a decision.
Absolutely. And so did Lori, and so did Jeff. They all made decisions.
Yes.
But they did something also, because lots of people make decisions, but they don't live by them.
Yeah.
They don't keep the decision going.
Yeah.
They don't focus on the decision. Instead, it's like, well, I made the decision, now it should just magically happen.
Yeah.
They don't take personal responsibility.
Yeah.
Every single person on this in this seat today took personal responsibility.
Okay, we'll be right back. Well, Rhonda's now been a life coach for the past 11 years and has written 4 books, including her bestseller, Fearless Living. And Rhonda says everyone has the ability to bounce back after difficult times. And doesn't everybody just want to live that way? I mean, that's why that's such a wonderful title for your book.
Thank you.
Fearless Living. To go through life not being afraid.
Well, you know, it was really interesting because every single story today, Lori and Jeff and Isaiah talked about how afraid they were at certain points. They just went, you know what, I'm going to face it, and I'm going to keep going.
I thought that's beautiful what Lori said about allowing yourself to feel the feelings.
When we accept that we're human and we have feelings, we actually get to experience the divine. We get to experience the divine.
And the reason you do is because the divine speaks to you through your feelings and your emotions. That's your soul talking to you.
Absolutely. You got to believe it. You got to believe that more than the fear. You got to believe that more than the past. You got to believe that inner voice. You know, we all need support, but I also think that at a turning point for everybody when they need to change their life or want to change their life is they have to sit and say to themselves, no one's going to change it but me.
That's right. You know, several weeks ago we did a show on The Secret, and a lot of people are getting that videotape. If you haven't, it's really great. But the whole point of The Secret is that you know, we've lived in a culture where you say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. What The Secret says is basically what I've been saying for years. You can do unto others all you want to. It's already going to be done unto you. And that's the way the law works in our lives. At some point in our lives, the truth is we will have struggles and we will face adversity. That's what being a human being is. But the key really is not about focusing on what you're going through, but how you choose to get through it. Make a decision and then act on that decision. And all of our guests today have shown us that we can all learn to be more resilient in our own lives. And therefore, I thank you all for being here today, sharing your stories, making us all feel that we too can do great things in our lives. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.